everyone, and welcome back to the Dubai Insider Podcast. This is Fabio Saltini, coming to you live from Dubai, the epicenter of the global real estate market. Listen, if you're joining us today, I know why. You're not just looking for a place to put your money. You're looking for a strategy. You're looking for the next big opportunity that makes sense, and you want to understand what's really happening on the ground here in Dubai. And you've come to the right place. I've been in this game a long time, and what I've learned is that the key to smart investing isn't just looking at the price tags, it's understanding the powerful forces that are moving the entire city and the whole country forward. That's why we're starting this episode with a segment I call the macro level magnet, because the real estate boom here is no accident. It's not some random event. It is the direct result of a strategic, well-executed plan by the UAE government to attract the world's best capital and its most brilliant minds. It's a design, a deliberate design. So let's talk about the big picture. Let's talk about what's attracting the world's wealthiest people to Dubai. I was reading a report from Henley & Partners, a big name in wealth migration, and a number just jumped off the page at me. In 2025, the UAE is projected to attract nearly 10,000 new millionaires. Think about that for a second. That's more than any other country in the world. And it's not just a one-off. It's the third consecutive year we've seen numbers like this. To put it simply, a new millionaire is settling in the UAE about every hour. And let me tell you something, this isn't just about escaping high taxes, even though that's a huge benefit. A lot of these high net worth individuals, especially from places like the UK and Europe, they're tired of being scrutinized and penalized for their success. They're looking for a place where wealth isn't seen as a liability, but as a normal part of the economy. They want a safe, stable, and welcoming environment for their families and their businesses, and that is exactly what Dubai offers. We're talking about a city with a zero tax environment, political stability that's unmatched in the region, and a culture that openly embraces prosperity. As a broker at Terra Real Estate, I see this firsthand. My clients aren't just buying property, they're buying into a new way of life, a place where they feel secure and can thrive. But this influx of private wealth isn't the only engine. The economic foundation here is rock solid. Just look at the forecast from PwC. They project the Middle East economy could reach a massive $468 trillion GDP by 2035. This isn't a small-scale bet. This is a continental-sized vision. And what's fascinating is what's driving it. The report highlights the strategic adoption of AI and proactive steps toward climate action. I mean, they're not just building skyscrapers, they're building a smart, sustainable economy for the future. And that's something that resonates with sophisticated investors. They want to know their money is in a market that is thinking 10, 20 years down the line, not just the next quarter. And the proof is in the business world too. The Dubai International Chamber recently reported a massive 138% increase in companies that have established their presence here in the first half of 2025. That's not a normal market. That's an explosive market. Companies are flocking here because the government has made it incredibly easy to do business with policies like 100% foreign ownership and streamlined licensing processes. And what do all these new companies need? They need offices, they need homes for their executives, and they need a place for their employees to live. This is a massive organic demand that is fueling the real estate market from the ground up. Finally, you have to consider the incredible government support. The UAE just jumped to the 16th position in the Global Government Support Index. Let me tell you, that's a huge deal. It's not just about a tax-free zone. It's about a legal system that protects your assets, a stable political environment, and an infrastructure that is the envy of the world. As someone who has been in this business for years, I can tell you that investor confidence comes from this level of security and foresight. When the government is actively working to make the country a top global competitor, your investment is naturally de-risked. So when my clients ask me, Fabio, why should I invest here? My first answer is always the same. because the smartest people and the biggest companies in the world are already doing it. They see the same thing we see every single day at Terra Real Estate, a market that is being built on a foundation of wealth, vision, and unparalleled government support. This is the big picture. Now that you understand the powerful magnet that is pulling in global capital, let's talk about the numbers. We're going to dive into the data that proves this incredible growth is not just talk. It's translating into record-breaking returns. Welcome back. If you just tuned in, we talked about the big picture, the macro-level magnet that's attracting a new wave of millionaires and global companies to Dubai. We established that this isn't luck, it's by design. Now let's get into the hard numbers, because as I always tell my clients, the real estate market is the heartbeat of the economy. And the recent data, the numbers that are coming out every single week, they show that this heartbeat is stronger and more vibrant than ever before. It's a boom built on real quantifiable demand. And for a serious investor, that's music to your ears. First, let's look at the price growth. I saw a report from a major consultancy last week that stated Dubai property prices are now a staggering 30.5% above the market peak of 2014. I want you to sit with that number for a second. The old peak, the one everyone used to worry about, is now our baseline. What this tells us, and what I tell my team at Terra Real Estate, is that the market has fundamentally matured. It's no longer running on a quick speculative high. This new growth is underpinned by long-term investment, by people who are not just flipping properties, but are settling in, building lives, and creating a sustainable economy. This is a sign of a healthy, stable market that's ready for a new level of growth. It's a sign that we've left the old cycles behind. And what's driving this? The millionaires, the same ones we mentioned earlier. A lot of them are coming here for the lifestyle, and they're bringing a new level of demand for luxury properties. The luxury segment of the market isn't just growing, it's exploding. We're seeing transaction volumes for properties over AED 10 million jumping by over 60% compared to last year. This isn't just a trend, it's a clear signal that the world's most affluent individuals are not just visiting, they're anchoring their wealth here. They want top-tier branded residences, exclusive penthouses, and private estates. They're looking for that blend of privacy, luxury, and world-class amenities. And let me tell you, this is exactly the niche where my team and I have built our expertise. We know the key communities and the developers who are delivering this kind of quality. Now, let's talk about my personal favorite segment of the market right now, the villa market. If you've been following the news, you'll know that villas are the superstars. The latest data shows that villa prices have surged by as much as 40% in top communities like Palm, Jumeirah, and Emirates Hills in the last year alone. My team and I see this every day. Demand is through the roof, and for a very simple reason: scarcity. Unlike apartments, you can't just keep building up. There's a limited amount of land, especially in prime established communities. What's there is what's there. So when a prime villa comes on the market, it's a very competitive environment, and the price reflects that. It's a classic case of limited supply meeting insatiable demand. This isn't just about appreciation either. We're seeing some of the best rental yields in the villa segment right now, which makes them a fantastic asset for passive income as well. And it's not just about the big ticket items. The market as a whole is breaking records. Just in May, we saw over AED 66 billion in transactions, the highest ever monthly total. And we've seen over 50,000 residential real estate deals in a single quarter for the first time ever. Listen to that number again, over 50,000. This isn't just a few wealthy people making big purchases. This is a massive, broad-based market in full swing. From young professionals buying their first apartment in Jumeirah Village Circle to families upgrading to a townhouse in Dubai Hills Estate, the entire spectrum is active. And here's a detail that many people miss, but I think it's one of the most important indicators of the market's health: record high mortgage volumes. Historically, some people have had a misconception that Dubai's market is only for cash buyers. That is simply not true anymore. The fact that more people are using mortgages to buy property here shows a deeper, more committed buyer base. It shows that people are confident enough in the future of the market to take on long-term debt. This isn't speculative flipping. This is a sign of end users and long-term investors entering the market, making it more resilient and more mature than ever before. It's a sign that the city's population is not just growing, it's getting deeper roots. And that's the most solid foundation an investor could ask for. So, when you put all these numbers together, the message is crystal clear. The global wealth is not just coming here, it's actively buying in, and it's doing so with a long-term perspective. The demand for luxury homes is driving a market-wide boom, and the record transaction volumes are proving that this is a broad and healthy market. Now, I want to shift your focus to what I consider the most important part of this whole equation, future proofing. Because a truly smart investor doesn't just look at today's numbers. You have to look at the vision, the infrastructure, and the big ticket projects that are guaranteeing that this growth is here to stay for decades. Dubai isn't just building, it's designing a future. And let me tell you, that makes all the difference. Let's start with a massive game changer, something that will fundamentally reshape the entire UAE real estate landscape, the Etihad Rail project. For years, we've talked about it as a concept, but now it's becoming a reality. The passenger service is set to launch in 2026, and I'm telling you, its impact on property values is already being felt. What used to be a long 2-hour drive to Abu Dhabi is about to become a comfortable 50-minute train ride. This changes everything. It fundamentally alters our mental map of the UAE. Think about it this way. A location that was once considered too far for a daily commute is now just a short trip away. This is not just a train. It's a new artery for the entire nation, connecting Abu Dhabi, Sharjah, Fujairah, and Ras Al Khaimah, all to Dubai. For a smart investor, this means you don't just have to look at Dubai's core anymore. You can look at communities that will become prime commuter hubs. A report I saw last week showed that property values in areas near future rail stations, like Dubai South and Jebel Ali, have already seen price increases of up to 9% in the last 9 months alone, and analysts are forecasting that once the rail is fully operational, we could see an additional appreciation of 15% to 25% in these areas. This is exactly why my team at Terra Real Estate is actively helping clients secure properties in these future-facing locations, getting them in early before the full impact of this infrastructure is priced in. This is about identifying the next hotspots, not just buying in the current ones. Next, let's look at the visionary master plans. We've all heard about Nakhil's legacy with Palm Jumeirah. Well, they are now hard at work on a new masterpiece, the Dubai Islands project. This isn't just another off-plan development. It's a complete reimagining of the old Dera Islands, turning them into a massive, interconnected chain of 5 islands with over 80 resorts and hotels and tens of thousands of luxury residences. It's a key part of the Dubai 2040 Urban Master Plan to create more waterfront living and public beach access. What I love about this project from an investment perspective is the sheer scale and the diversity. It's a multi-developer master plan, which means you get a wide range of options from apartments to villas, all within a destination that is designed to be a premier living, leisure, and tourism hub. As an early stage project, we are seeing a significant opportunity for capital appreciation well above the market average. It's like getting in on the Palm Jumeirah in its early days, but with a more modern, sustainable vision. And now for a detail that shows Dubai is truly building a smart city for the future, the massive rollout of EV charging stations. Dubai's public park operator Parkin is partnering with Charge and Go to install 200 ultra-fast EV chargers across the city. This is not just a random act of green kindness. It's a calculated, strategic move to support the growing number of electric vehicles on Dubai's roads and to meet the city's sustainability goals. As an investor, you need to be thinking about this. A property in a community with integrated ultra-fast EV charging is going to be more attractive to future residents. It's a feature that adds to the long-term value and rental appeal of a property. This is a subtle but powerful sign that Dubai's infrastructure is evolving to meet the needs of a modern, environmentally conscious population. It shows a forward-thinking approach that gives me, as a long-term broker, confidence in the market. Finally, let's talk about the digital layer that's making all of this happen. The UAE is at the forefront of a global trend that we call PropTech, property technology. The government is investing heavily in things like AI, blockchain, and smart contracts to make property transactions faster, more secure, and completely transparent. I've seen this myself. The process of buying and selling property here has become unbelievably efficient. They're building a system where a property deal can be done with a few clicks, without intermediaries, and with an unchangeable digital record. This is a massive leap forward that reduces fraud, speeds up transactions, and makes Dubai a more attractive and trustworthy market for global investors. So when you look at all of these things together, the rail network, the mega island developments, the smart city infrastructure, you see that Dubai isn't just responding to a market boom. It is actively creating the conditions for sustainable long-term growth. It's building a future-proof city, and that, my friends, is the most secure investment you can make. It's not just about what you're buying today, it's about the entire ecosystem you're buying into. All right, that brings us to the end of today's episode of the Dubai Insider podcast. I know we covered a lot of ground, but I wanted to make sure you have the full three-dimensional picture. I didn't want to just give you a list of facts. I wanted to give you the story, the vision, and the strategy. Let's take a moment to recap what we've talked about, and let me put my personal spin on it for you. In our first segment, the macro-level magnet, we looked at why Dubai is attracting the world's wealth. It's not a coincidence. I'm talking about the influx of nearly 10,000 new millionaires in a single year, the $468 trillion GDP forecast, and a 138% jump in new companies. What I want you to take away from this is that you're not investing in a flash-in-the-pan market. You're buying into a fundamental, government-backed economic boom that is creating demand for real estate at an unprecedented level. The flow of money is coming to Dubai, and the real estate market is the main beneficiary. Then, in segment 2, the data and the boom, we got down to the nitty-gritty. We saw how that macro vision is translating into real-world results. The prices are now 30% above the 2014 peak, and we've seen a record 50,000 transactions in a single quarter. But here's my personal take on this. I know some of you may have seen reports about a potential market correction. Yes, there are some analysts who predict a minor dip, but what they often miss is the sheer absorption rate and the strategic management of supply. The number of high-value off-plan sales shows that the market is dominated by long-term investors and end users, not speculators. This is a sign of a healthy, mature market that has strong foundations to absorb new supply and continue its upward trajectory. The villa market, in particular, with its extreme scarcity, will continue to be a star performer. And finally, in segment 3, future-proofing and infrastructure, we looked ahead. We talked about the game-changing Etihad Rail project, the visionary Dubai Islands, and the city's commitment to smart infrastructure with its massive EV charging rollout. This is what truly excites me. It shows that the government is not just reacting to today's market, it's proactively building a city that will be a global leader for the next 50 years. This is what gives me, as a broker, and you, as an investor, the ultimate confidence. Now, you might be feeling two things. First, you're probably excited about the immense opportunity here. And second, you might be thinking, okay, Fabio, this all sounds great, but where do I even start? How do I make sure I get the right property in the right location with all this information? And that's the most important question you could ask. The data is clear, the vision is solid, but your path needs to be personalized. Dubai's market is vast with different segments, different developers, and different investment strategies. One size does not fit all. You need an expert on the ground to guide you, to help you filter through the noise, and to identify the specific opportunities that align with your goals. This is where my team and I at Terra Real Estate come in. This isn't just a business for us, it's our passion and our home. We don't just sell property, we build tailored investment strategies. We sit down with you or talk over a video call wherever you are in the world, and we listen. We want to understand your goals, your risk tolerance, and your timeline. Are you looking for a long-term asset for your family, a high-yield rental property, or a strategic off-plan investment with massive capital appreciation potential? We are on the ground here every single day. We have the insider knowledge, the direct relationships with developers, and the data-driven insights to help you navigate this market with absolute confidence. We take the stress out of the process, and we ensure you make a smart, informed decision. I've been doing this for over a decade, and I've seen the incredible returns my clients have made by acting at the right time. If anything you heard today sparked your interest, if you're ready to stop just listening and start acting, I want you to take the next step. Don't let this opportunity pass you by. Don't fall victim to analysis paralysis. Book your free, no obligation consultation with me or a member of my team today. It's simple. Just go to the link in the description of this podcast. You'll find a direct link to our website where you can schedule a call at a time that works for you. We'll answer all of your questions and start building your personalized Dubai investment strategy. There is zero pressure, only guidance. Again, that's the link in the description. Just click it and book your call. The future is being built here right now, and I want to help you be a part of it. Thank you so much for listening. It's been a pleasure sharing these insights with you. I hope this episode has given you clarity and a renewed sense of confidence in the future of Dubai. Until next time, this is Fabio Saltini signing off. Take care, and I hope to speak with you soon.